I'm Reewyn and welcome to day 9 of my Dead by Daylight Bootcamp. Today, we're going over how to counter survivors. Now, this is less organised than the previous day because each survivor doesn't have their own specific ability. Rather, survivors have perks that can be tricky to combat and items. First is items. Ones like toolbox and medkits aren't really combatable other than stopping their use when players are healing each other or rushing a generator. If the survivor is using a toolbox to sabotage hooks, keep an eye out when you're carrying the survivor. If you see said survivor running straight in the direction of the hook, don't go to that hook and change direction. Flashlight is the other very annoying thing to counter. The best thing to do is 1. Try to check the surrounding area for other survivors before picking someone up, and 2. Try to look away as fast as you can if you see a beam. Hillbilly also has a useful perk whilst you get used to this, called Lightborn, in which your vision is dimmed a bit but you aren't stunned by blinding. Now for perks to counter. For this episode I asked for some help from the Dead by Daylight subreddit members to find out which perks are most annoying for them and which ones directly affect you. I will link the post in the comments, but for now thank you to u/average evade enjoyer, u/masks and mirrors, and u/cosmofoil. Folks? Yes. The first perk is Boil Over. This perk is very annoying as it increases the survivor's struggle effects by 60/70/80% respectively, so they're more likely to wriggle out. If someone has this, keep an eye on your surroundings. It's not horrifically bad, but enough that if you make too many mistakes, like switching hook or having to place them down, it's a lot more inconvenient. Next is No Mither. Now, this perk on its own isn't the strongest, but when used in combination with other perks, it can be quite strong. This perk decreases the grunts of pains from a survivor, making it a lot harder for you to find them as you're less reliant on audio cues. This perk can also increase the survivor's recovery speed and unlock self-recovery, meaning that the survivor can heal themselves off the ground. They will, however, suffer from broken, meaning they can't heal themselves from injured. When a survivor is running this perk, you need to keep an eye out and watch for survivors, and importantly, don't lose track of your downed survivor. Don't trust they'll stay on the ground either. Try and get them hooked. Now, Boiled Over and No Mither are often run together to create a very slippery build. Don't get thrown off. Focus, keep your eyes peeled, and get to those hooks as fast as possible. Next is Decisive Strike. This perk activates after someone has unhooked the survivor or they've unhooked themselves. It allows the survivor to wriggle out if they hit a skill check successfully. To combat this, don't go after the person that got unhooked. Go for their rescuer or someone else. You might get lucky and the Decisive Strike timer runs out by the time you down them, but it's often not worth it. Next is Resilience. This increases the action speed of survivors when injured by 3/6/9% respectively. This perk is usually stacked with other perks such as Deja Vu, so watch to see if the speed of generators is quite swift. Watch them vault through windows too. If they're going faster than you'd expect, be wary what's happening, but also be wary that there's a good chance they have a build where they'll speed through things. Now we have For the People, which activates when you're healthy and healing another player without a medkit and the active ability button is pressed. If the survivor was injured, they'll instantly go to full health. If they were downed, they'll instantly go to injured instead. The survivor, however, will become injured with the broken status effect for 80/70/60 seconds respectively, so cannot be healed during this time period. This survivor will also become the obsession. Your best bit in this situation, grab that survivor and pick them up. Otherwise, another survivor will get them straight up and ready to run again. If you can, get the For the People survivor out to eliminate the issue together, or at least in 1 or 2 hook states so they're less likely to come to the rescue. We're Gonna Live Forever is a perk that is often used with For the People. When you're healing another dying survivor, you'll get a 100% healing speed bonus. But most importantly, any dying survivor you heal back to injured gains their endurance status effect for 6/8/10 seconds respectively. Remember, endurance allows the survivor to be hit and receive deep wound instead of being downed, aka the survivor has to mend themselves before a timer runs out but won't get downed. Essentially, it means that your down survivor can suddenly be a gone survivor, which is really annoying if they're on the last hook, for example. To counter this, stop the healing before it's completed or take down the healer. Otherwise, you have to wait for endurance to run out. Now, to combat both of them, you're going to have some difficulty. First, try and keep the survivor injured, as For the People only activates when the survivor has full health. Otherwise, pick those survivors up as quickly as you can so the pesky survivor does not grab them. Next is Finesse. This perk activates when the survivor fast vaults when healthy. The survivor will gain a 20% fast vault speed with a cooldown of 40/35/30 seconds respectively, so it can likely be used multiple times in a chase. Just watch to see if they're vaulting quickly, and if so, be wary of the windows and don't be surprised when they noom away. Next is Off the Record. This perk activates after being unhooked or unhooking yourself for 60/70/80 seconds respectively. 1. Your aura is not visible to the killer regardless of their perks. 2. Grunts of pain are completely suppressed. And finally, they gain the Endurance status effect. Note, Endurance is cancelled when the survivor does a conspicuous action, which essentially is any action you complete except entering a locker or vaulting. This perk is cancelled once the exit gates are powered, aka all gens are done. Now, you can still see things such as scratch marks, so try and follow these. Get the survivor out fairly early if you can, so they're not annoying you later. Once they're unhooked, hit them once and leave them. You can deal with them later. Now we have Head On. You won't come across this build often, though it's frequently in troll builds. Essentially, after a survivor has been locked in a locker for 3 seconds, this perk activates. When they rush out of the locker, the killer, if close enough, will be stunned for 3 seconds. It does cause exhausted for 60/50/40 seconds respectively, so ideally it won't be used with Lithe or Sprint Burst. Basically, if you fall for it once or twice, don't worry, but be cautious for the next time. Just walk away or bait the survivor out. Finally, we have Deception. Basically, when a survivor runs past a locker and presses a button, the doors of the locker will slam, as if they'd rushed in there, when they continue running. Scratch marks and pools of blood will be suppressed too, so look the survivor has run into the locker, buying precious seconds. This perk is more annoying than anything. Just look carefully. Did you see the survivor actually enter? And if you fall for it once, be more cautious the second time. Keep an ear out. Can you really hear them in there? We're now going to go over some things to look out for as a killer. 1. If the generator pops fairly fast, the generator rushing you. This likely means survivors are working together to get the generators done quickly so they can get out before you can do much. Separate the survivors. And 2. Body blocking. Survivors will try to take the hit for other survivors to give some bonus, like saving them from being downed or stopping you getting some kind of bonus related to your killer. Essentially, knock them down, leave them on the ground, and get the one you are after. And that's about it for today. The key things to remember from this is to try and detect what's going on before it's used against you. Recognizing patterns and perks will be to your advantage and to the survivor's disadvantage. I'll see you next time. We'll be exploring how to upgrade your survivor build. Bye!